Good morning, STGB community. It is Friday, which means it's time for our Top 5 Friday. Vanessa and I were planning on doing this together, our first Top 5 Friday together, but unfortunately she is sick, so I'm on my own one more time. So today, I want to talk about the top 5 signs that you are a mom bully. So this is fairly lighthearted, but also kind of true. I think we're probably all guilty of some of these things at one point or another. And it just kind of goes along with like the mom shaming and the judgment and whatever. So these are things that you might not realize that you're doing, but they can kind of make another mom feel not so great about herself. And I think that these kinds of things maybe sometimes contribute to moms feeling like they're failing. So let's get right into it. The top 5 signs that you are a mom bully. So number 1, comparing. We don't really do it on purpose. But sometimes, if we're kind of complaining with one another or talking about something that we're struggling about, so say like I might be talking about my kids and I'm having a hard time getting them to sleep, or when they're younger, talking about like the different stages and like, oh, Susie's already walking, and say yours isn't walking at the same age, and then it just kind of becomes a thing, or someone will say like, oh really, because Jimmy was walking at 7 months. That's, instead of maybe like comparing, we could just say like, oh, everybody has their own pace. Everybody goes at their own pace. So maybe a little less with the comparing and just a little more with the support. Support's kind of going to be a big theme on this one. So number 2, the number 2 sign that you're a mom bully. You give unsolicited advice. So, and I'm guilty of this. I totally do it. So say I'm complaining that maybe Charlotte, I'm having a hard time getting her to go to sleep and get to bed at a good time, and she's not falling asleep till like 10 o'clock, and I'm talking with a friend about this. The unsolicited advice might come like, oh really, because Ed and I don't give Charlie any sugar after 4 o'clock. Maybe that's something you could try. And it's just kind of like a little passive aggressive, again, just sympathy, just support. It's almost like I just watched a video this morning, Kat and Nat, I don't know if you ever watched them, but they're talking about things that the husbands can do or partners can do that make life a little bit easier. And so one of their points was that you could just listen. You don't always have to offer advice or a solution. You could just listen and offer support and ask if there's anything you can do to help, rather than kind of just getting that little dig in there. Number 3, the once over. I think we're probably all guilty of this, and we probably don't really mean any like malintent by it, but you know what I mean. Like you're walking up and taking your kid to school, and one of the other moms does this to you. Okay, like I get it. I'm not always put together when I drop my kids off at school. 9 times out of 10, I'm completely frazzled. Like right now, I don't even remember if I brushed my teeth this morning. So as soon as I'm done this video, I'm gonna go brush my teeth just in case that I didn't. But we don't really need to do the once over with each other. Maybe more of like a sympathetic nod, or maybe we could do what guys do. Like guys are dudes with each other. They're just like, hey, like maybe we could do a mom nod in the morning when we're dropping our kids off to school. Like it doesn't matter what we look like or what our kids look like. I've had people give my kids the up and down look because they dress themselves and they look absolutely ridiculous when they go to school, but they really love dressing themselves. So I've kind of just given in and let them. So the once over, like that's probably the number 1 thing I'd like to abolish, because it's really annoying and it's really it's just kind of rude. I need to brush my teeth. Thanks, Vanessa. Number 4, talking behind each other's backs. Okay, so, I mean, this is always going to happen, but it's worth pointing out. It doesn't only happen just like with other moms, so it's not just moms talking about, oh my God, did you see Rebecca let her kid wear to school the other day? It's also like talking to your spouse or talking to family and friends or whatever, and just saying like, I can't believe that Carol lets her little one, what did I write down here? Oh yeah, I've heard this one before actually. And actually this is something that Vanessa does, and she kind of hesitated doing it for a while because she was afraid of judgment, and now she's like, whatever. Oh my God, can you believe that Carol lets Jimmy go to the park by himself? Like, he's only 5. Doesn't she know what could happen? Yes, probably Carol knows exactly what could happen, but she probably also, I doubt that Carol would let her child go to the park on his own if she didn't feel a level of confidence that he would be okay. And quite honestly, unless you want to keep your kids in bubble wrap, I think it's time probably to pull back on the reins a little bit, or maybe I should say release the reins a little bit and let them kind of be kids again, and let them kind of maybe have childhoods like we had. And I know the world is different and we kind of have to be careful, but things have changed so much. My point is that just don't be so judgy about what other people let, and don't talk about it behind their backs, because eventually that kind of stuff can get back, whether it's through kids or other friends or whatever. And that actually brings me to number 5, which is one of my personal favorites. And Mom, I love you so much, but my mom's one of the guiltiest people for this. Number 5 is speaking through your kids. So when my girls were babies, my mom would want to say something to me, I guess, but she would use my kids to do it. And like, okay, they're 2 months old, so they can't talk. But she would be like, oh, Mommy, she'd be holding one of the babies, and she'd be like, Mommy, I think that my shoes are getting a little too small. I think it's time for you to buy me new ones, Mommy. And like, it's just, okay, Mom, if you wanted me to buy my kids new shoes or whatever it was, just say so. Like, my baby's 2 months old. I know that she's not telling me this, you are, so just tell me. And then when they get a little bit older, then it starts coming through the kids. So, one of the kids on the schoolyard might say, and my kids are starting to do this, one of them might say, my mommy says that your mommy shouldn't let you do that. My mommy says. And my kids are starting to do this actually, so I'm trying to be careful about what I say around them. But like, you're speaking through your kids, and it's probably none of your kids' business what you think another parent should be doing with their kids. So anyway, that's it. Call it bullying, call it shaming, call it judgy, whatever. This is really meant to be lighthearted, and I think that maybe we just need to be like a little less of this stuff, and maybe just a little more supportive and like smiley and hugs, and let's get the mom nod going instead of the up and down. So just to recap, the top 5 signs that you're a bit of a mom bully. Okay, so like, just let me quickly say, when I say bully, I've said a couple times, I mean this lighthearted. Bullying is just I think bullying is when you are kind of taking your own insecurities and letting them come out in different forms, right? So or what you think you might, your own inadequacies that you've decided that are your own. So that's what I mean when I say bullying. I don't mean like mean, although this can kind of get mean. Anyway, the top 5 are: number 1, comparing; number 2, unsolicited advice; number 3, the once-over; number 4, talking behind other moms' backs; number 5, speaking through our kids. So why don't we just kind of get our big girl pants on and just be open and honest and supportive with one another, and then I think that might make this parenting thing a little easier. So that is it. If you agree, if you like this this Top 5 Friday, please share, please tag, please comment. Make sure you like us at thesecrettogiving.birth.com. We will be back here next Friday. Hopefully Vanessa and I will be together, and we will be talking about a brand new Top 5. Everybody have a great day and a lovely weekend.